drink some coffee. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing the VR that I believe Katie Flowers started. If I'm incorrect, please let me know in the comments, but I think Katie Flowers started this VR tag, tarot tag, whatever you want to call it. It's called Only 10 Decks, and by that it's if you could only keep 10 decks of your collection, which 10 decks would it be? And I'm guessing obviously you'd want to know why, right? So I have a few decks, as you can see behind me. So it took me a bit to really look through them and then sense like, would I really want to grab you if I know that I can only grab 10? You know what I mean? So I don't know, it took a bit, And the other thing too is I didn't want to just grab tarot. And with this tag, it can be tarot or oracle. But I don't know if you'd call it cheating, because one of my decks is fortune cards. The first one we're gonna start off with is, of course, the Pokemon Tarot. Why? Because it's freaking Pokemon. Because why not, right? I love Pokemon. So I got the Pokemon Tarot on Etsy. These are not your typical tarot size cards. They're very tall. There's a certain word for them though. I forgot what it's called. But if any of you guys know, leave it in the comments for all of us to remember what they're called. But they have a certain name. They're really tall. And they're straight up it's just a straight up tarot deck of Pokemon. And it's very it's a very good clone as well of the RWS. Like it pretty much just depicts Pokemon, but in how an RWS, like the typical RWS deck would be depicted. Like here you have, for the Devil, you have two Pokemon representing the two people that we're used to seeing chained up, except it's two Pokemon chained up. Here you have another Pokemon representing the actual Devil, which we would see in the RWS Devil card, standing atop from the two that are chained. So it's very similar to the original RWS artwork in the sense of like where everything is placed, if that makes any sense, but it's just Pokemon. So here's our 8 of Wands. You got your 8 wands there, and then you got a Pokemon flying with the wands. And also, not only because it's Pokemon cards, but this deck I feel is very well made. I mean, look at the quality here. Has gold foil. The cardstock is very sturdy. I don't know if you guys can see like the shimmer that comes off of it. It's like a certain, what do they call it? Lamination or something going on. But yeah, so this would be probably one of the first decks that I would grab. Pokemon! My Pokemon deck, where are you? Oh, see, look here, the 9 of Swords. You see, we have the badge that we're used to seeing in the original RWS. You have here a Pokemon with their hands to the face, but in the original we're seeing a human with their hands to their face. You have the 9 swords also placed in the original form that we're used to seeing in the original RWS. That's one of the reasons why I liked this deck too, is because it's very similar to how the original RWS artwork placed everything, and then here it's just Pokemon. I will say though, it obviously does not come with the book, it's just the cards in the box, but because it's an RWS clone, there's really no need for a book. Oh, by the way, all of the decks that I'm going to show here for the most part already have a flip through video on them, and in that flip through video they have the appropriate links on where I purchased the deck. Whether or not they're still available, I have no idea, so please just do your research. If for some reason the link doesn't work or you can't find it, most likely it's either not available anymore, especially this one. But I will link the flip through videos in the description, so go check them out. The next one that I snagged was the Last Unicorn Tarot. Now, if some of y'all remember, if you grew up kind of like the same time frame that I grew up, there was a sweet movie of The Last Unicorn, and it was a very beautiful movie, and it stuck with me. Look at this pretty unicorn. So that's one reason, because this deck gives me like nostalgia, like childhood memories and things like that, and also because I love the movie and I love unicorns, and also because this deck is like luxuriously made. I mean, look at this gold foil detail around here, and the backs have that pretty gold foil, It has the glittery gold gilded, not gilded, edges. They're not gilded edges, it's the other kind of edging. I don't know what you would call it. But that is why I snagged The Last Unicorn. Pretty much because of nostalgia, because I loved the movie, because I loved the artwork, love the characters, and because I also love how this deck was made. It's very pretty. The next deck is the Cosmic Visions Tarot. I don't know if I would call this like my soul deck. I feel like that's a little too much, but I do know that this deck has got me through a lot, not only with readings in general, but just like getting lost in the artwork. I also love that it incorporates rainbows here. If y'all have been watching me for a while, you know that I absolutely love rainbows. And I love how the artist incorporates rainbows in their drawings, as well as the use of black and white. So they not only have rainbows, but they also have, you know, black and white, because that's included within the color spectrum too. So that is why I picked, oh my God, this is so pretty, the Cosmic Visions Tarot. The next deck is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Now this one, I absolutely love the artwork. I love that it has the, what's his freaking name? Tim Burton. I love that it has like Tim Burton-y kind of vibes with the drawings. If y'all know Tim Burton, you know what I'm talking about. But I love the colors, the use of colors. It's very easy to read with. This deck does not come with the book, but it's an RWS clone. So I feel like whenever a deck is an RWS clone, there's really no need for a book. Just grab any tarot book. Unless you really want to know like the background of why the artist chose what they chose for that specific card. But otherwise, you don't really need a book for this, like its own tarot book. Just grab any tarot book. Do you know what I mean, jelly beans? And it also feels amazing too. Oh, here are the backs. I got the copy with the blue because I love blue. But yeah, that's why the Dark Mansion Tarot is in this pile. The next one is Tarot of the Divine. You know what? For some reason, I forgot that there was gold foil detail on this box. This deck is very affordable, by the way, especially for the quality that you're getting. I think that's why it threw me off. I'm like, oh, this has gold foil on it. But why I picked Tarot of the Divine is because it is based on, well, inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from around the world. And I absolutely love folk tales. I was thinking of fairy tales and folk tales. Anyways, I absolutely love fairy tales, folklore, mythology, just whatever, all of those things combined. I love it. So I had to get this deck. And that is one of the main reasons why I grabbed this deck, is because it's based on all of those things, all of those stories from around the world. I also love the artwork, the color palette used. And like I said earlier, the quality of the deck is very good too, especially for the price that you're getting it for. I think when I got it, when I had got it on Amazon, it was probably like, I don't even remember, maybe like $16. I'm not sure if that's how much it is now, but still a very affordable deck. Wow, all of the cards that I've showed so far in the deck have been upside down. It's because I shuffle reversals, okay? I shuffle reversals in here. The next deck would, of course, be my own, the Iris Tarot. I don't think I really need to explain why I would bring my own deck, but if I have to, it's because it's my baby. It's the first deck that I ever created. It's the first this type of, you know, project that I've ever done, or anything like this, if that makes any sense. And also I obviously poured, you know, my heart and soul into it. So that is why I would bring my deck along. The next deck would be the Weaver Tarot, the Journeyer Edition. Simply because I haven't really seen a deck like this, and it's absolutely beautiful. And what I mean by that is I haven't seen a deck that, I don't know, that just looks like this in general. Like there's decks that are out there that are holographic in the front, but they just don't look the same, if that makes any sense. So this one has, like I said, hollow backgrounds or like a hollow lamination on it. But if you look closely, I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell or if this is like not a good not a good card to use, but in the backgrounds of each of the cards, there's also an image hidden there or like a landscape of some sort. They also have gold foil detail. It has the glittery gold edges here, gold foil detail in the back. But why I would pick this one is simply off of its beauty, I guess. It's not anything that I've seen before. Oh, here you can see the background image here a lot clearer. This looks like a river of some sort, and I believe mountains on the side. But I don't think that the background images are placed there randomly. If you pay attention to what's in there, it kind of relates to which card it is. But yeah, that's a short and simple reason why I would grab this one if I was only able to have 10 decks. It's simply because it's really beautiful and I don't have anything else in my collection like it. The next deck is an Oracle deck, and it is the Spirit Animal Oracle. This is one of my very favorite animal decks, and possibly one of my favorite Oracle decks in general from all the Oracle cards that I have. It comes with a beefy guidebook. I did edge mine in a light blue color to match the backs. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer with this camera view, but there is shimmer in there. But it's just a very beautiful animal deck. I think this was one of my first animal decks too, from what I can remember. Oh look, it's the White Raven. I never knew there were White Ravens, honestly, until I got this deck. I was like, what? Here's the dude or the dudette on the cover. Look at this pretty swan. I love the colors in this deck. I like the feel of it too. The cardstock is really nice. I just feel like it's pretty much a well-rounded Oracle deck. And there's animals in there, like, what the hell? Look at this whale. So pretty. The next deck is a fortune teller card deck. Fortune teller deck? Yeah, whatever, you know what I mean. It's called Tea Leaf Fortune Cards. Oh, there's my ring light. Why I would bring this is because, one, it was my very first, no, it wasn't my very first fortune teller cards. But it's the only fortune teller deck that I have that's like the beefiest one. And by beefy, I mean that it has 200 cards in here. Just the fact that it has so many cards is kind of the main reason why I would pick this deck, because there's just so many different combinations or readings that you can get off of this, and also because it's a fortune teller deck too. I believe this is the only fortune teller deck that I would be bringing if I could only bring 10 decks. The rest are tarot and like one Oracle deck. Since there's 200 cards, I can't really like hold the deck properly in my hands. But it's pretty much straight to the point. I mean, I figure most fortune teller cards or fortune decks are. So it has the name of the image up top, the actual image, and then on the bottom here it has the depiction or keywords. This one is the rabbit, and it says too much concern with sexual matters, which makes sense if you guys know how much bunnies like to get it on. And the last but not least is the Children of Litha Tarot. I believe the Children of Litha was, I think, my second indie deck ever. My very first one was the This Might Hurt Tarot, and I believe the Children of Litha was my second indie deck. But when I got the Children of Litha, I like how I'm shuffling it and not showing you guys. When I got the Children of Litha, I just got lost in it because of boobies, not because of the boobies, because of the artwork, because of the fact that it included mythological creatures or beings too. because of the colors, because of the way the art is drawn. There was just so much in here that just had me in awe. And oh, look at this sun card, it's so pretty. And I feel like the Children of Litha also gives me like soul deck vibes, if that makes sense. I mean, just so you can have more than one soulmate, you can have more than one soul deck, right? But that's what I get off of the Children of Litha. It's just so pretty and so magical. So I think that was 10. Pretty sure that was 10 decks. I feel like last time I did one of these kind of videos, I miscounted. But yeah, that was 10 decks. So those were the 10 decks that I had a hard time choosing, obviously, because I have so many. Well, it was hard to choose, but then it wasn't. It was hard because obviously I have so much to look through to see, you know, which one would I have been okay with if I didn't have it anymore, versus the ones where, no, I don't want to let you go for sure. I know I probably did this VR super late, but hey, at least I did it, right? At least it's done. So that is my reply for the Only 10 Decks hashtag by Katie Flowers. I will put her video in the description down below as well, so go check her out. And don't forget to check out the description. I will link the flip through videos for each of the decks that I showed. And in those flip through videos would have the associated links on where you can go purchase that deck, or where you can find the creator's info, and then go from there. Whether or not these decks are still available, I can't really say, because obviously I bought these like months ago, some of them maybe over a year ago. So if for some reason link doesn't work, or for some reason you can't find the deck where I had linked it, then just Google search. I'm sure something will come up. If you guys stuck to this part of the video, leave the, I was gonna say the snow globe emoji. There is no snow globe emoji, but they should make one. No, leave the crystal ball emoji. Leave the crystal ball emoji in the comments down below. That way I know you stuck to this part of the video. Don't forget to like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!